Hey guys, hello. It is the 10th of December. Welcome to today's video. My name is Chris here. I'm with LA Wave Cafe. So let's take a look and give you my thoughts on the market. I want to take a look also at the wave counts and at the crypto a little bit and see what's happening in there. But first thing first, we've had the Federal Reserve came out today. They cut the interest rates with another 25 basis points. Some people might have said that this was a bit of a let's say, dovish presentation or kind of a dovish outlook. Yeah, the market, I guess, was expecting something that was going to be a little bit more hawkish, but nonetheless, it was kind of mixed. But the market took it, with the positive. It looks like because we rallied pretty strongly here during his speech and shortly thereafter, and we challenge in the S&P and here the highs near 6,900. Now you're looking at my futures platform here on Thinkorswim, and you can see this is kind of the live data, and we've already kind of pulling back and selling off in the after hours in here, or as the Asia session begins. There's not a lot of continuation in here, but we'll see what happens by tomorrow morning. We have a declining RSI. Again, the RSI on the daily is right at 60. These are tough levels to kind of get through. It seems like I would have thought that maybe with today's move, the market would have pushed this, higher and tried to at least close above. But we'll see how this will progress overnight. If we look at the Nasdaq, that's on a similar story. If we look at the Russell, this was where the strongest move, that we've had in the markets, and that hit about 25.81 here on the RTY. But it's just stalling a little bit, so nothing crazy. A couple of things to notice. We did not have major moves in some of these large caps, the things that really carry the market. So Amazon was fairly weak. Tesla, a short rally. I mean, I guess if you look at the daily here, you could say that it's the 50 it's holding, and it's maybe creating a little bit the right side of a cup and handle, but that remains to be seen. Google was fairly I don't know, again, not a lot of reaction, but it's doing like a nice little flag. One, two, three, four, and five, maybe already. I don't know, but it's uh, if it breaks above 330, I guess that's a positive. But Apple was fairly weak, holding here just above the 20-day. If you look at Nvidia, it's just not looking good. I mean, it had this rally, just a short, quick rally when they were talking about allowing some chip sales to China or what have you, and it failed. It failed at the 50-day moving average, and it's turning. So I don't know. I mean, this is a big monster in the market, and it should trade positively if this market is to continue forward. I don't think we can stage a powerful rally just by the likes of the small caps. I think that's a caution sign. I continue to view that, and then Meta, a beautiful rally exactly into the 50-day 200, and it's back at 650, trying to close this gap. It continues to remain a short. Microsoft, same thing, kind of pinned here between the 10 and the 200, and the Netflix, it's on the way down, continues a bit oversold in here, but hey, there's no buy point here at all, and it's way below the 20-day moving average on F. So again, it's a bit of a mixed picture. If you look at Bitcoin, I mean, it tried to rally just a little bit after the announcement, but it found bids again at 90, 95, and it's just toying with that 20-day moving average here on the future. But guys, it's still in a downtrend. It's in a downtrend, and it's just not looking that healthy. It tried to, and it continues to you know but it's just finding a lot of supply. So let's take a look really quickly, and kind of how some of these things look. And again, on the S&P, prior B wave, and it's wanted to close towards the highs, but it's tough to get through there. Although we do have volume today, we'll see if they're going to get followed through there. And then here on Bitcoin, let me see Bitcoin futures. We just looked at them, right? So plenty of supply to get through. If I look at the cash market, it's a bit closer to this 50 days, so it's coming more, but look, it's hard. I'm looking at let's look at the wave count. So I got a two ones, right? What I'm still looking for this ugly kind of fourth wave. With the final decline here for another wave five, we lost a bunch of the momentum. I think if this was going to be a fifth wave, it would have happened already. So either this was some kind of a truncation. I can't really read into it. What I do know is that it's just not time to buy it yet. It's still under all those moving averages. It's still struggling to rally and sustain. So there's really not a lot to do. If anything, again, if you lose these levels, this guy at about 87, that would be the first kind of trigger, and then you lose this low at 83, 800. You're looking lower, and the other count, if this is the end of a larger fourth wave and we're beginning to kind of get out here to some kind of a leading diagonal, I think I mentioned this yesterday as well. Even in terms of time, we're still kind of short, but leading diagonals also have a sell-off first and then they go. So you would be what if this would be, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, what have you, and this would be the end of the wave one. You would then get a three-wave setback here, if I could draw it, something like that, or maybe a bit shorter. And you would probably not want to go further than this low. And then it would start to kind of get back. So I would watch for this. It might take a while to form, but if this is the case, if we're seeing like a three-way decline and then it's going back and kind of breaking above that line, then I would start to get a confidence, and by the time the moving averages will start to to kind of catch up, and maybe by the time the price kind of squeezes back above them. But this is the two that I'm watching. None of them it's really convincing me just yet that that it's time to create any kind of acceleration in here. If you look at the weekly time frames in Bitcoin, it's still, it's just stair stepping up, but slowly and without too much conviction. So these are my thoughts on Bitcoin. I talked yesterday about Ethereum, which looked a little bit better. I don't know how it looks today, but we can quickly jump and take a look here and see how this behaves. And yeah, I mean, look. It tried to get back, and it is getting pushed back below that 50-day. You see, they're trying to sell into this downtrend, and to kind of stay with the momentum on the downside. It's just trend following. It's nothing else here. But if they're successful and they're getting it back below 3K, I guess there'll be further selling, and they'll be dangerous. But you do have what looks to be a kind of five-way sequence, but it's not. Short of a 1-2-1-2, which would be very powerful. I don't know how else to really count it. I think we have some wave differences in here, but maybe I'll take a look later and prepare. I just don't want to force any counts in here as long as we're still in a downtrend. So that's that, and then I'm going to close off with just kind of showing you a little bit this map. Where we do have the S&P at the top, you have the Dow Jones, you have the NASDAQ composite in here on the third, and then on the fourth you have the IWM. And you can see the IWM is the one this is the 200-day moving average. The IWM is the one that made a new high. None of the other markets have been powerful enough to do something like this. So I'm watching plenty of times you would get divergences between the markets, and it's not perfect, but it's something that we try to keep an eye on to make sure that everything kind of goes together, and if there's discrepancies, what can we read into it. And this is one model where we can see the small caps rallying, a lot of the large caps, and I showed you the ratio between the Qs and the SPY the other day, where that's in favor of the SPY, with Qs completely underperforming. A bunch of the tech sector it's not doing that good. I mean, I guess especially the large caps, the large growth. So this just continues to, to keep me on the sidelines, or to continue to remain hedged, or have a little bit of a bearish tilt But listen, I'm ready to flip if the market does, and I just want to see that bigger conviction from the market, and otherwise I'm just continuing. I mean, there's stuff that rallies, but there's also stuff that's just so weak. So when that's the case, I just kind of choose to to pare things back. But that's just me. This is a trader's market here as always, and you can shop around and find. Just make sure your stops and your levels for sure where to get out in case things go wrong. But again, I'm not. Even if I look at this, I mean, if this is a fourth wave, I mean, we're probably going to get in the S&P. I mean, in this 1, 2, 3. I don't know. I couldn't tell, but listen, it's all I'm watching right now in the IWM is if it's failing, and if it's not, it's a good thing. But if this thing turns back and starts to break back below this 2500, if we're losing the low of this breakout, even if we get below 2546 tomorrow and we kind of close below it, I would be very careful then. So, eyes open and head on a swivel, as they say, and let's see what happens. But thanks for watching. I appreciate you all. And, you can find me Twitter, Discord, Substack, and YouTube. I'll see you.